Hello, welcome to your practice for today. We're going to be needing 2 blocks. We're going to get started by stacking them one on top of each other and coming to a kneeling position. So we're going to take them lengthways, placing them under the sit bones. Now, if this doesn't feel comfortable for the knees, you can also just come to a cross-legged position. We're going to take some time to just settle in. So resting the hands down wherever feels good, whether that's palms up, palms down, whatever feels nice for you. Taking a soft gaze to the top of your mat or perhaps closing down the eyes. Taking any movement through the neck, shoulders, spine, hips. Just noticing how you're feeling in this moment. Letting go of the day, of yesterday, of the past, letting go of the rest of the day, tomorrow, the future. Just allowing yourself to be fully present with this practice. We're going to go through 3 rounds of box breath. For 4, we're going to inhale. For 4, we're going to retain the breath. For 4, we're going to exhale. For 4, we're going to, again, retain the breath. Just 3 times through again. So taking a breath to prepare. Inhale, expanding the belly, expanding through the rib cage. Exhale, belly relaxes in, the rib cage softens in. Now inhale like that for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 4. Last time. 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Full inhale, full exhale. One more like that. Full inhale, full exhale. Feeling the tension melt out of your body, feeling that ease as we shift into the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of the nervous system that supports rest, supports ease. And we can gently open up through the eyes. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder mobility to get started with. So I'm just going to turn around to demonstrate this one for you. We're going to interlace the fingers, palms meet together. We're going to draw the shoulder blades back. We're going to roll the shoulders forward for 3, 2, inhale, rise, exhale, lower, last one, opposite way, inhale, rising the shoulders up, exhale, rolling back and down, last 2, last 1, inhale, arms come out to a T, palms face forward, exhale, hands come in towards the back of the head, inhale, hands extend out to a T, palms flip to face the back, exhale, hands come into the lower back. Twice more. Inhale T, palms face forward, exhale, hands to the head. Inhale T, palms face back, exhale, hands to that lower back. Last time. Inhale, extend, flip, exhale, hands to the head. Inhale, extend, flip, exhale, hands to the lower back. Now inhale, we're going to extend the arms out. That left hand is going to face forward, right hand is going to face back. Inhale, prepare, expanding through the chest, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale, left hand to head, right hand to lower back. Inhale, coming out to the T, flipping the hands. Exhale, right hand to the head, left hand to the lower back. 4 more here. Inhale, expand. Exhale, opposite arms come in. Inhale, expand, flip. Exhale, hands come in. Twice more. Last one. Excellent. Now we're going to extend that left arm forward. If you want to change the position of your blocks, if you want to come down to a cross-legged position, feel free to change. So left arm extends forward. We're going to grab hold of the fingers and just gently drawing them back. So lengthening through the palm, through the wrist, through the forearm. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Flip that palm. We're going to turn it in and then out. Taking hold not of the fingers, but rather of the knuckles here, so we can really draw it back. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, and release. Opposite side. Right hand flexes towards me. Pulling back on those fingers. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Flip the hand, externally rotate. Good. Grab hold of that hand on the knuckles here. Drawing back for 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Now we're going to come to a tabletop position. We can pop those blocks off to the side, about in the middle of your mat, just off to the side of your hips. We're going to bring fingertips into face towards you. Now if this is feeling a little too strong for the wrists, we can bring them a bit closer so that there's less pressure through the wrists. If you want a little bit more here, we can take them further away. So finding what feels good for you here. We're going to go through 3 rounds of cat-cows. So going to inhale, arc the back from the sacrum, belly drops down, chest comes through, shoulder blades draw together, lifting the gaze. Exhale, rippling up the spine, tucking the tailbone, belly button to sky, separate shoulder blades, chin to chest, twice more like that. Inhale, rippling up the back, arcing the back, coming through your cow. Exhale, rippling up the spine, arcing the back, flexion through the spine, cat once more. Inhale, arcing the back, coming through that extension. Exhale, rounding the spine, cat pose or flexion. Now we're going to come to a neutral spine, flipping the hands over. We're going to take them slightly further forward. We're going to take a little rock forward over the wrists, then a little rock back. Now with this, when we shift forward, we're going to arc the back, coming to that cow position. When we shift back, we're going to round the spine and trying to think about pulling your belly button towards the back wall behind you, if there's a wall behind you. Inhale, arcing the back, shifting forward, chest comes over the wrists. Exhale, rounding the spine, really tucking here, pulling that belly button back. Once more like this. Inhale, arcing the back, coming forward, a little bit of weight over the wrist for that wrist mobility. Exhale, arcing the back, rounding the spine, taking the hips back. This time, inhale, we're going to arc the back, coming through, hips drop down. We're coming to a up dog variation. Now this might be a little bit too strong, in which case you're more than welcome to come here, or maybe stay a little bit higher. But if this feels comfortable, we're going to come to a deeper back bend. So we're going to stay here for the inhale, chest comes through, lifting the gaze. Exhale, taking the gaze over that right shoulder. Staying for the inhale, staying for the exhale. Inhale through center, exhale opposite side. Staying for the inhale, staying for the exhale. Inhale through center, exhale, tabletop position. We're going to reset ourselves. Then we're going to extend that right leg out behind and take it off to the left, planting the toes, all of the feet. And we're just going to do a few little rocks coming into the ankle now. So using the exhale to travel back, inhale to travel forward. That's what I like to do anyway. If you'd like to flip it around, feel free to do so. It doesn't really matter too much for this one, unlike our spinal mobility where it does really matter. All right, 2 more here. We should feel this through the ankle, maybe even coming up through that calf, depending on your mobility. And then we're going to extend that leg all the way out, coming to a pigeon pose. We're going to bring the hands in, so we're kind of like on a diagonal pigeon pose off of the mat. And we're going to do a few pigeon push-ups. All right, so we're going to use the inhale to lower down. Exhale to press up. Maybe you want to welcome a little cat-cow through the spine. Inhale, lowering down, a slight arc through the back. Exhale, maybe a little round through the spine as you lift. 2 more like that. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. Last one. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. Now planting the palms firmly, we're going to tuck the right. Pressing up, we're going to reset to that position we were before. but we're going to ground the right toes behind. We're going to turn that left foot off to the left side of the mat so it's perpendicular to the mat. Drop that right foot down, left hand grounds, right fingertips go up towards the ceiling. Now we're meeting in a supported side plank here. Inhale, reaching through the right fingertips. Exhale, that arm's going to sweep up and over. Inhale, lifting up through the chest stacks over the hips. Exhale, gate pose, that right hand plants on the right leg, left arm sweeps up and over. Inhale, left hand plants, right arm comes up and over. Once more like that. Inhale, T. Exhale, reaching over, gate pose. Inhale, coming to the T. Exhale, plant that left hand, right arm comes up and over. Now with the inhale, that right foot is going to shift back. Exhale, expressing chest and hips towards the ceiling, baby wild thing. Staying for one more breath here. Then replacing that right hand onto the mat. We're going to draw that left leg back in line with the mat. That right leg is coming out to the side. Ground through that left hand again. Inhale, right fingertips rise. Exhale, threading through toward the left. Once more like that. Inhale, rise. Exhale, this time we're going to pause at the bottom for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, right fingertips rise. Exhale, planting that hand down, draw the right knee in. Resetting in that tabletop position. Extending the left leg out, then taking that left foot off to the right side. We're going to go through those few rocks forward and back. Maybe inhale forward, exhale back. Again, if you'd like to go the other way, you're more than welcome to. Let's go for 2 more here before we come down into that pigeon pose, sliding the foot away. So we're coming on a diagonal here, hands plant down. Inhale, we're going to lower the chest down. Exhale, rise. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. Maybe that flexion, extension. Inhale, a little arc through the back, coming through that extension. Exhale, a little round through the spine. Sorry, extension here. Inhale, arc in the back for flexion. Last one. Inhale, lower. Exhale, rise. Inhale, lower, a little arc through the back. Exhale, rise once more like that. And tucking the left toes, we're going to press up, that left foot plants behind, grounding the hands, right foot goes behind, right hand plants, coming to that supported side plank here. Just going to flip around so you can see me. Now inhale, reaching up through left fingertips. Exhale, let that arm float over. Inhale, stacking the chest over the hips. Exhale, left hand plants, right arm reaches up and over. Gate pose. Inhale, coming to that T shape. Exhale, sweeping over. Once more like this. Inhale, T. Exhale, sweeping over. Inhale, T. Exhale, plant right hand, left arm comes over. Inhale, left foot slides behind the body. Exhale, we're opening chest and hips towards the ceiling, lifting the gaze maybe towards left fingertips. Staying here for one more breath. Then planting that left hand down, we're going to draw that right leg so it's in line with the mat again. Left foot comes out to the side, in line with the knee. Ground that right palm. Inhale, left fingertips rise towards the ceiling. Exhale, threading that arm through. Inhale, we rise again, left fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, threading through, pausing here this time for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left fingertips rise. Exhale, plant that hand down, draw the left knee in, tucking the toes, pressing up to a downward facing dog, taking a pedal out through the heels, maybe a sway of the hips or a shake of the head, having that even pressure through the whole hand, really nice and long through the spine. Taking 2 more breaths here. Inhale, nice long spine. Exhale, heels anchor in toward the mat. Inhale again, nice long spine. Exhale, left heel anchors into the mat. With your inhale, right toe tips rise, 3-legged dog. Exhale, scorpion dog. Bend that knee, stack the hips, staying for the inhale. Staying for another exhale. Last inhale here. Exhale, tiger curl. That right knee comes through toward the nose, doming the spine. Place that right foot between the palms. Drop the left knee down. Untuck the toes. We're going to use our blocks here now. So we're going to use them to frame just behind that right foot. Now this is entirely optional. If you don't have blocks, you can also place the hands just onto the mat if you have the range. Otherwise, the hand can also go onto the knee. So we're going to inhale, drawing chest through the shoulders, nice long spine. Exhale, hips soften down, blocks, mat or knee. Then with our next inhale, extending that right leg, coming to a hamstring stretch or half split. Exhale to fold. Again, hands to blocks, floor or knee. With your next inhale, low lunge, shifting through long spine. Exhale, hips soften down. Inhale, half split. Exhale, fold. Twice more like that with your breath. Last one. Meeting in that low lunge. Now we're going to bring the blocks a little bit closer to that right foot. We're going to tuck the back toes, extending both legs out, coming to a pyramid pose. That back heel is going to drop down to about a 45-degree angle, facing forward. Heel touches down, trying to square the hips to the top of your mat here. Now we're going to use the inhales again to draw nice and long through the spine. Exhales to fold forward over that right leg. 3 more breaths here. Intentional with the breaths. Last one. Now we're going to plant that right hand on the inside of the right foot, so it might be on the mat. Maybe it comes on the lower setting of the block. Maybe it comes onto a higher setting of the block, whatever feels really good for you here. And we're going to extend that left arm toward the ceiling. If this feels a little off balance for you, you can also jump that back foot in a little closer and a little bit wider. See what works for you. Lengthening that right leg all the way out if that's available to you. We have 2 more breaths here. Last one. And then inhale, that left arm sweeps up and over. Exhale, bending that right knee. We're coming to a side angle pose. So again, option to have hand on floor or block, any of the settings. If that feels really uncomfortable, we can also bring the knee towards the elbow towards the knee rather. All right, taking the gaze up towards the fingertips. 2 more breaths here. Final one. And then inhale, coming up to a warrior 2. Exhale, softening down here. Inhale, star pose, extending that front leg, flex the foot. Gaze follows the fingertips, fingertips reach for the ceiling. Exhale, warrior 2. Once more like that. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior 2. Little play with balance here. We're going to come to a half moon. If you know how to get there, go ahead and go for it. Otherwise, I'll guide you through it so we can use the block if you would like to. Otherwise, fingertips can float down. If this is one of the first times you're trying this, I definitely recommend the block. We're going to shift the weight into that front foot, float the back foot. Shift back a little bit. And we're trying to make the body as flat as possible here. So extending up through that left hip to stack the hips. Reaching fingertips, reaching through the toes. We have one more breath here. Then drawing that left hand down to the mat. Keep that left foot extended out. Hips are going to square off here, so you can check that the hips are squared. Pausing here. We're going to inhale, coming to a standing split. So ground the hands, maybe that's on blocks. We're going to extend that left leg a little bit higher up towards the ceiling. One breath here. Then bending that right knee, stepping that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. We're going to use the blocks to frame that right foot again here, and extending that right leg all the way forward. So we're going to come to a split, but we're not going to go as deep as you possibly can go. We're going to come out just a little bit so that you have some room to move. So similar how we did with the low lunge and half split, we're going to do basically the same movement. So we're going to inhale, bend that front knee as if you're coming to a low lunge. Exhale, hips come through towards the mat here. Inhale, then extending that right leg out as if you're coming to that half split or hamstring stretch. Exhale to fold forward. Let's go for two more here. Inhale, bend that front knee. Exhale, hips come through. Inhale, extend that right leg out. Exhale, folding forward. Now this shouldn't feel painful. We have one more here. It should feel quite nice. If it is feeling painful, just come out a little bit, even if that means coming to higher blocks. Maybe you want to pause the video here and go for this a few more times. If not, we're going to pop the blocks off to the sides, creating a little bit of space, plant the hands down, tuck the left toes with as much control and grace as you can. We're going to pull that right foot through, coming up to a three-legged dog, right toe tips towards the ceiling, and planting that foot down, little pedal out here before we come to that opposite side. Two more breaths here. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, heel softening toward the mat. Inhale again, nice long spine. Exhale, right heel anchors this time. Inhale, three-legged dog, left toe tips rise. Exhale, scorpion dog, bend that knee, stack the hips, keep shoulders square to the front of your mat. Staying for one more inhale here. Exhale, tiger curl, left knee comes through to the nose, doming the spine. Then plant that left foot between the palms, drop that back knee down, untuck the toes, using our blocks again here. So we're going to frame the foot. Inhale, chest comes through, nice long spine. Exhale, hips soften down. Inhale, extending that left leg, hamstring stretch or half split. Exhale, fold. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, soften. Inhale, half split. Exhale, soften. Let's go for two more. Remembering that we only want to move to discomfort, but we never want to move to pain. Alrighty, meeting in that low lunge. Now again, option to use the blocks, maybe you want to ditch them. We're going to come to that pyramid pose, so planting, tucking the right foot, extending both of the legs out. Maybe you need to jump that back foot in a little closer and a little bit wider for your balance. We're going to drop the heel down, the toes are facing forward at about 45 degrees. That left leg is nice and long here. Inhales to lengthen, exhales to fold. Let's go for two more breaths here. Last one, hips stay square to the front of the mat as much as possible. Then placing that left hand on the inside of the left foot, floor or block on any of the settings. And with your next inhale, right fingertips rise toward the ceiling. Exhale, softening into a twist so that hip can open out slightly now. Just going to switch sides, stay there. Taking 2 more breaths here in your pyramid pose. Revolving pyramid. Last one. Now we're going to bring that right arm slightly over. Take a bend through the left knee, coming to that side angle pose. Maybe that back foot needs to slide a little bit further away. Maybe hand comes to the floor, maybe onto the block. See what feels good for you. We want to make a nice long line all the way from that right heel, all the way to the right fingertips. Gaze goes all the way up to that hand. If this feels too strong, you can also bring the left elbow to the left knee. Let's go for one more full breath here. And then inhale, coming up to our warrior 2. Exhale, softening in here. Inhale, star pose, arms reach for the ceiling, lengthen that front leg, flex the foot, gaze follows the left hand. Exhale, warrior 2. One more like that. Inhale, star. Exhale, warrior 2. Alrighty, moving through to that half moon position. It can be a little bit tricky. Go ahead and move there now if you know where you're going. Otherwise, you can follow along with me. Maybe placing that block down, shifting the weight forward, floating that right leg. Right fingertips stay stacked over the shoulders, trying to get that right hip stacked over the left. Staying here for one more breath. You've got this. And with the exhale, right hand softens down to the mat. Keep that right leg extended out, hips are squared here. We're going to lift that right leg nice and high, hands coming close to that left foot, coming to our standing split. Staying here for one more breath. And with the exhale, touching the right toes down, extending them back, floating down, and we're coming to that full split on the opposite side. Grab hold of those blocks. Now, you probably know where we're going already on this side. So we're going to inhale, bend that left knee. Exhale, hips soften down here. Inhale, extend that left leg out, half split. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale, soften. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Let's go for 2 more here. Now again, this shouldn't be painful. If it is, just come out a little bit. Maybe putting those blocks onto a higher setting. Last one. Alrighty, ditching those blocks now. We're going to place the hands down, tuck the back toes as gracefully as you can, bringing that left foot through, 3-legged dog, left foot toward the ceiling. Pausing here, and with the exhale, that foot can plant down, taking a little pedal out through the feet. We're going to pedal them all the way to the top of your mat. So with each step, we're going to ground that heel, lengthening through the back of the leg. Really taking your time here. Staying here for a breath. And then we're going to step it back and do that one more time. So stepping straight back to that down dog, hips travel back. Then stepping it all the way up again. Really ground that heel, extend the knee with every step. Maybe you want to use your block here under the hands as your feet come up a little bit closer. Pausing here. We're going to take both hands off to one side. Maybe use your block again here. And exhale, softening into that twist. Inhale, we're switching sides. Maybe grab the other block. Maybe bring the block with you. Maybe no block. Exhale, soften. And coming back through center, we're going to slowly ripple up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Slowly, slowly making your way all the way up. Once you arrive, inhale, arms sweep all the way up for the ceiling. Exhale, swan dive, palms face out, nice long spine coming all the way down. Inhale, half lift, coming to fingertips, or maybe hands come onto the shins. Exhale, hands plant down, step or jump back to a plank position. Inhale, engaging core. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, back bend of your choice, maybe cobra, maybe up dog, staying for a full breath here. Staying for one more inhale. Exhale, lowering the chest all the way down. Inhale, tabletop, toes draw together, knees out wide. Exhale, hips to heels, child's pose, extending the arms forward. Now you have the option here to use your block. You can place it underneath the hands if you want to come a little bit more into the shoulders. So I like to place it on about that middle setting so I can really draw chest through. Grounding the forehead down. Taking 2 more breaths here. Final one. Then we're going to keep that right arm extended, whether it's on the block or on the floor. With the inhale, left fingertips are going to reach up towards the ceiling. Nice little twist here. Exhale, we're going to thread that arm through, similar to how we did earlier, but just a little bit more gentle, pausing here. One more breath here. Then inhale, left fingertips rise towards the ceiling again. Exhale, plant the hand down on the block or on the floor, doesn't really matter. Inhale, right fingertips rise. Exhale, threading through. Pausing here. 2 more breaths here. And inhale, right fingertips rise. Exhale, plant that hand down. We're going to shuffle that block off to the side if you have placed it in front of you. Now we're going to bring one block about halfway up the mat. Place it on the other side so you can see me more easily. We're going to sit all the way up, extend the legs forward, and bringing the feet all the way down to the base of the mat. Now we're going to use the inhale to draw nice and long through the spine, and the exhale to fold forward. We're going to cross the hands to opposite ankles. With the inhale, we're going to reach one arm behind, it doesn't matter which one. Nice twist. Exhale, fold. Inhale, twist. Exhale, fold. Once more each side. Last one. Pausing in that forward fold. One more breath here. And slowly stacking the spine, extending the arms forward, and we're going to come all the way down. We're going to draw that right knee to the chest, giving it a little squeeze, single leg, happy baby, left arm relaxes down, right hand can come to a peace finger grip, or maybe to the outside edge of the foot, taking that right foot to the sky, right knee outside of the armpit. Maybe take a few little rocks here. One more breath here. And then drawing that right knee in, a little squeeze. We're going to switch hands, so that right arm is going to relax down, left hand is going to guide the right knee all the way across. Taking one more breath here. And inhale, coming back up through center. Keep that right knee into your chest. planting the left foot, right ankle crosses over left knee, figure 4. So we can either just press that right knee away, or we can reach through and draw that left knee in. Now you might want to have the hands on the shin, or if that doesn't feel good for the knee, you can also have them on the hamstring. One more breath here. Then releasing that right leg goes all the way down to the mat. Single leg happy baby on that left side. Final breath here. Then drawing that left knee to the chest, switching hands. Right hand guides the left knee across, gazing to the left. Last breath here. And rolling onto the back, keep that left knee drawn in, plant the right foot, left ankle crosses over the right knee, figure 4, you know your options, left hand or knee, or reaching through, shin or hamstring. 2 more breaths. Last one. And uncrossing that left knee, we're going to place the feet down about hip distance apart or just wider. Arms can come out to a T. Exhale, letting them drop off to one side. Inhale through center. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, center. Once more on each side. Exhale, dropping them off. Inhale, center. Exhale, rocking them. Inhale, center, taking hold of that block that's about next to your hips. We're going to slide it in under the sacrum and come to a waterfall or legs up the wall pose. Now we don't want it completely underneath the sacrum. We want it down a little bit so that it tilts the tailbone up so that it makes it effortless to float the feet. So stacking the feet over the hips. If it feels like it's a lot of effort here, it might just mean that you need to slide that block down a little bit. If the block feels a little bit uncomfortable, you can also use a cushion or place a blanket over the edge of the block. Arms are just going to come out to the sides. We can take a little bit of movement through the ankles. Maybe closing the eyes. Tuning in again. Noticing the breath. Noticing any sensations. Taking 2 more breaths here. And slowly bending the knees, planting the feet, pulling that block out from underneath you. We're going to come to our final meditation. We have just 1 minute here, so extending the legs out. Maybe you want to come to a traditional variation of our Shavasana or meditation, or maybe you want to come to Supta Baddha Konasana, so that's feet drawn together, knees out to the sides, or maybe you even want to use the blocks and place one under each of the knees. Just finding a nice comfortable position here. Palms typically facing up in that gesture of receive, but if you like, you can also place them on your body if that feels really good for you. And just softening in here. Again, noticing that flow of the breath. Seeing if we can soften even more through the head, the back of the skull, the neck, shoulders, chest. Relaxing through the belly, hips, knees, ankles. And each time the mind drifts off, can we just, with compassion, draw it back Just gently back to this moment. And moving the toes, fingers, taking a full inhale, full exhale. Maybe a rock of the head from one side to the other. Maybe reaching arms up and overhead, pointing fingers, pointing toes. And then drawing one knee followed by the other toward the chest. A little squeeze, maybe a few rocks from side to side. And making your way up to a seated position. So whether that is maybe rolling up and down the spine, or maybe you want to take a moment to roll onto your side first. Coming up to that seat now, if you've taken that roll onto your side. We're going to take one hand to the belly, maybe the right hand, one hand to the heart, maybe the left hand because it's slightly more on that left side. And we're going to take 3 intentional breaths here. So with each inhale, I'd like you to visualize gratitude flowing into your body, through your body, and maybe even further and deeper into your life. With the exhale, we're going to release any tension from the body or from the mind. It's taking a full inhale of gratitude. Exhale tension. Inhale gratitude. Exhale tension. Inhale gratitude. Exhale tension. Bringing both hands over the heart space, Anjali Mudra. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. Namaste.